Good morning, initiates. Oh, I want to get allow in on this one. This thing is the opposite of Zoom, this movie recording. So if I move, it's like the sacred mirror. If I move my hands over there, which is my right, in the sacred mirror, they're moving to what I perceive to be my left. Yeah? So there's this thing called a sacred mirror. A regular mirror has double refraction, so that this is very confusing. If I put my right hand up in the mirror, I perceive it coming up on my right side. That's how vanity mirrors work. They're distorted in some way. So now you have to be careful with that, because if I put this up, I am doing this now. This is my right hand. Pinky swear. This is my right hand, and I am putting it up. Now in a vanity mirror, it would feed back to me in the same way I perceive. Yes? In a sacred mirror, because in the special world, the spirit world, things are always backwards. It is being perceived to my eyes looking at this as my left hand. Okay, just take that in for a minute. So when I put up my right hand, the left hand shows up, and it does something to your psyche. And I didn't know this was possible till this morning using QuickTime. So if you want to do this for yourself, give your brain a good jog this morning, this beautiful morning. Go for a jog. Set up your QuickTime movie and check it out. Do this sacred mirror exercise. So that's not what I came here to talk about today. That just kind of happened. What I wanted to say to you this morning, and just sort of, getting tired of just communicating through writing all week, I think it would be nice to connect more, kind of live, because we're in such a live process with this initiation. Today is Mother's Day, the changing name ceremony day. I'm just going to grab my coffee, because I made a coffee. I don't know why I do that, it just gets cold. And enjoy a little bit. That's my dog Allow over there, by the way. Maybe she's going to come over and say hi. Mother's Day today. So Grace and I and a small handful of others are going to be making a ceremony down at the ocean. And we will be making the actual ceremony using elderflowers, going out at low tide, and we make a circle down at the low tide line. And then people go into the circle, and some people are actually doing a name changing ceremony. So changing from the name their mother, their little mother as we call it, the one who birthed you, your biological or adopted mother, the one who raised you, we'll say, on the physical level. It's a separating off of that relationship as it was. So just like the fire maker ceremony is the first sort of leaving of your parent, stepping away from, basically it's you stepping away from your parents being responsible for you. Okay, it's not a breakup between you and your parents or anything like that. It's an acknowledgement that you are coming into new relationship. That's what a lot of these initiatory ceremonies are, right? Coming into a new place, new place, new place, keeping you fresh and lively, yes? So you don't get into stagnation, which is where most people are right now. So in that fire maker ceremony, around age 13, 14 is when you actually do the fire part. Maybe that was some confusion there. At age 8, you kind of start getting groomed for it. You go out for a few hours at a time, and then eventually you go out for the whole night. And that's when you actually light the fire and keep it going all night, which symbolizes you are able to work with your own spirit. And that spirit has come back to you as well. So as the person, especially in that the map, so to speak, of the sort of those stick people called the petroglyph. The person in the beginning, the child, spirit. You come as spirit, but those first 8 years is the development of the person, because the person / human is the one that's going to do this sacred earthly walk of life. So that person is formed during those first 8 years, and then slowly the spirit comes back in, and then it's in the people stage. Basically, you wake up, at 13, 14 with the fire maker ceremony. So you stay awake all night as well, yeah? So it's very much a being awake ceremony. So the one we're talking about now, though, does come later. There's no particular age that I know of because this ceremony is kind of making its recovery. So we're learning more about it as we go. So just to say, name changing, I like to call it game changing as well, is in a similar kind of sacrifice exchange of the person for self. So even though the person has become, it has been awakened, the self and person are kind of the same, and the person, you're becoming aware of this person. You thought it was you for so long and that there was nothing else, but now you are aware of self and spirit and soul. And so we come into different kinds of relationships with those, call it 3-4 aspects of ourselves. So I'm rambling a little here. Let me just kind of try and bring it back. Okay, so there's a circle of elder flowers at the ocean's edge, and we go at 2 o'clock, which is low tide, and we've got about 45 minutes of slack tide to work with. And each participant will go into the center and speak what it is they're letting go of. So, because again, it could be the name given to you by your parents, or in this way, especially as we call Ho'oponopono ceremony. So Ho'oponopono, you've heard of that. It's called like, I'm sorry, please forgive me, I love you, thank you, And that's fine, but it's way, 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 way more than that. So it's a way of extending ceremony through enacting of the self. So when I and others enact this ceremony with the self, it is transmitted to all the other self aspects. So it helps nurture and grow the self. So it becomes more apparent, more obvious, and all of a sudden the person looks and goes, like Little Mouse in the, who are you? He said into the water. His frightened little face looking back at him. Who are you? Aren't you afraid to be out there far in the water? He doesn't even know he's looking at himself. He didn't know that aspect of himself. Yeah? So again, we're going to himself, okay? Here's the sacred mirror again. Right, left, little bing bong going on in the brain, okay? That's okay. So here in the ceremony today is a letting go of the person as you thought it to be. All thought is attachment, and attachment leads to desire, and desire is the cause of suffering. Second noble truth. So today, Mother's Day, an invitation to you all, in whatever way. You don't have to even enact anything, because we're doing it in what's called Wu Wei, doing, not doing. So an invitation to be aware today of this name-changing / game-changing ceremony of coming into new relationship, a fresh relationship with who you think you are, with your self, with your spirit, and of course with the mother. All around us, above, below, one side, the other side, surrounding us. It is finished in beauty. It is finished in beauty. Beauty is kind of another word for the mother. But also the mother in the invisible sense. All these things here, these birds, you and I, and the trees, are all children of the mother. But the mother is actually unseen. So in the Wu Wei is also how you will approach your new name. You may have already heard a word that resembles your new name. But listen and listen closely, listen closely. This name will have torque on you. As said, the name, the command, let's come back to the command, the go-to, has, it's like a chain. It yanks your chain, right? Every time you go into any kind of stress mode or discomfort, you you get yanked by this chain saying, don't go there, don't go there, don't go to that unknown over there. And it pulls you into that control, judge, confuse, whatever it is. Yeah. Now, the other one on my left side is that also kind of has that torque, your new name. And it is a chain. It will pull you every time you hear it. It'll say, come this way, friend. And then you look, and it's like a chain made of paper. And it just goes on beyond what the eye can see because it's unbounded. The other end of that chain has no end. Doesn't mean it goes on and on and on. It goes into the vastness, into the emptiness. Okay? So the chain of the command word is attached to a lead ball. Stay here. You're not going nowhere. You're going to stay in the old way. Your new name has also torque. It'll pull, but it pulls you towards the emptiness. Okay? So it also has to have, well, there's actually I'll post a little poem by Richard Wagamese, and he talks about faith being, well, the old woman talking to him says, faith is not about waiting for something to happen. It is the constant effort of moving forward. So for you, the fledgling adult, there is no more struggle, and there is no more effort even. Not in the way that you effort, ball and chain kind of effort. Now effort is aligned with faith. Yeah? So faith and effort become synonymous. And so your word reflects that. It's a no-brainer. It's doing, not doing. For instance, the word that came for me is learn. Learn. There's no effort to learn. And so your word must be the same. It doesn't have any real edge to it, but it allows you to look at your edges. Okay? And last night in the dream time, I had something with discomfort again. We say lean into the discomfort. And so that makes you think, well, lean into the discomfort is going to be all heavy and dark and da 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 da. But what it showed me last night in the dream time, is when you lean into the discomfort and you look and you go, oh, I didn't know you were here. And there's a surprise waiting for you in the discomfort when you lean into it as opposed to no, right? So in the same way that you think right hand, left hand, the way this is working, I sure hope this is transmitting the same way to you as when I'm doing it. That would be weird if it didn't. So in the same way that we perceive things a little differently, leaning into the discomfort brings surprise, whereas you might have thought it would bring more discomfort. And I think it does say in the teaching somewhere, if you find more discomfort in the discomfort, like anxiety would say, you're doing it wrong. Sometimes we do it wrong. And that's why we step into the center of the mistakes wheel and say, Grandmother, if I have made a mistake, please correct me. And below in that center of the mistakes wheel, you look below you and you see truth. And you look above you and you see healing. And you learn to learn. without making mistakes. So see what comes for you today, this naming ceremony day for your new name. Even if one's already come, just also sit with it again. Maybe make a little circle for yourself. Sit with it in the circle. And listen. Listen. And when you've done so, follow the instructions given for your new name, placing it in a little circle, the word, with rays coming out of it, with the theta beta words on them. Please use the theta beta transliteration, it's called, because the theta beta meaning inculcator is about washing all the stubborn stains you have associated via your thoughts to words. Okay? Thought is attachment. So the theta beta inculcator helps, it washes away those attachments you have to what a word means. Right? And what that makes the way for is for your uniqueness, your genius, to be open to the word. You know, just like a plant, they say to know a plant's name, like its common name, and then to know its Latin name, those are like introductions. It's like, hey, hi, I know you a little bit. But those also have to be removed to actually make a connection with that plant and listen to its medicine, because even though, you know, even lots of plants like elder today, yeah? So elder is a plant that is used to help release, to let go for the transitory states, but it also would have unique qualities for any one person. So any plant out there, although it has some more kind of generic qualities and healing properties, when you connect with the plant directly, not even taking it, and you could touch it maybe, but you don't have to chop it down or anything. Just listen to the plants when they speak to you. They will speak to you in a way you can understand, in the way that is a unique way that is medicine for your unique being. And so all of us are kind of generic and unique. And this circle, your new name, is your star, is your genius in the making. Okay, so you are in taking this new name, it is like the sun, which is a star, yeah? It's the little sun, star of your universe. You are the universe. Okay? And this is your sun. And your spirit is your fire. So we could get into that more. Just a few words and thoughts to share with you on this beautiful Mother's Day, and a prayer and blessing to all mothers. We all came from a mother. There's no other way to get here. And to her we shall return. All right. So I'll say goodbye for today. And I'll see you all on Wednesday. Much love.